John McDonnell prepares to replace Jeremy Corbyn with a more radical socialist, and we look at his background to see who John McDonnell really is. Right, we're getting closer and closer to the election night. This 2019 general election hasn't gone too well for the Labour Party so far, and all eyes are on Jeremy Corbyn and his leadership. And that's not just coming from the outside, the commentators, the voters or other parties. It's actually from within. There are a lot of talks are coming out from the Labour Party that there are various factions already talking to trigger a leadership election straight after this upcoming general election if Labour lose. Now, firstly, we don't know exactly how the election is going to go. Obviously, you look at the polls right now and the Conservatives are hugely leading, but polls could change. People's minds could change. So let's not take it for granted that Labour are going to lose and Jeremy Corbyn is going to be in trouble. You never know. But if they are going to lose, there are different factions. There is a Remain faction, where people like Keir Starmer and his allies behind him. There are also the John McDonnell side, who has been trying to kind of plant seeds to grow potential leaders in the future, whether it's Rebecca Long-Bailey and other potential candidates. And there are also talks that if he can't do that, he might actually just stand himself for leadership. So in this video, we're going to talk about John McDonnell and who he actually is. But in terms of how everything's been going, because the different factions, there are some issues. Obviously, John McDonnell is very close to Jeremy Corbyn, but something came out yesterday during John McDonnell's interview with Sophie Ridge on Sky News that showed a bit of an issue that he either completely lied on purpose, which was unnecessary because the manifesto was coming out the day after, or he wasn't told exactly what's going to be in the manifesto.
My next question is one of trust.
Yeah.
Because I just want to show you a quick video of you speaking on Tuesday. This is what you had to say on Tuesday.
Earlier this week and over the weekend, there were reports that Labour is planning a windfall tax on oil companies. Is this true? And if so, please could you set out how your proposals would work?
Great. Okay, John.
Okay. On the windfall tax on oil companies, no. No.
Pretty simple.
I've leaked the manifesto already.
I mean, on page 15 of the manifesto, it says, we will introduce a windfall tax on oil companies.
What I was being asked there by the Daily Telegraph reporter was, would I give the details of the windfall tax? And I wouldn't.
Well, we just heard the question. You said, no, that's a leak of the manifesto.
But if you listen to the question itself, he's asking me...
He said, will there be a windfall tax?
No, but he's asking, will you give us the details of it? And I said, no. What? Listen to the question.
He said, will there be a windfall tax?
Yes, he said, will there be a windfall tax and will you give the details of that? And I said, no, I'm not going to release the manifesto 2 days ago.
Can you not see?
Yeah, he literally said no. So that's why there are a lot of rumours are coming out suggesting that he either knew about the manifesto the day before, he knew the details, he just lied for no reason, or he wasn't actually told about the full manifesto information and what was inside it. So whoever was behind the manifesto exactly, it's going to be interesting to find out. But in terms of this whole campaign for Labour, it's not going too well. And the manifesto for itself is ridiculous because obviously it could bankrupt the country, but that's not the only issue, because back in 2017 they used students by giving them empty promises on abolishing student debt and tuition fees for universities and everything else, and then actually came out that they didn't mean to do that. They lied, and that now they're going to target pensioners, especially women who have been affected by the rise in the pension age, and so they want to compensate them, and they know because there's a big campaign going on, and they know that that could be a good block vote. So they promised randomly to pledge that, yes, we're going to compensate you for whatever you've been affected with. But actually, it wasn't costed. It's not in the manifesto.
I just want to focus a little bit on the costings of this, because you released your manifesto this week. We can have a little look at the costings of this. So what we're looking at here, I mean, obviously it's very detailed, but effectively all the sort of spending is on the left and how you're going to pay for it is on the right. I can't find this policy in
No, because we're treating this as the way the government would treat it. As in the past, if the government loses in court, it then has to abide by the court decision, We believe we have to abide by this injustice that's taken place.
But hang on a minute, sorry. I know your
Let me
manifesto
if
is
I
fully
could just
costed, but
finish.
£58 billion, and it's nowhere here.
This is the scorecard of our manifesto implementation.
Now we're going to talk about John McDonnell's real views on politics and life in general. When Sophie Rich asked him his opinion on billionaires, this is what he said.
Are you happy to see billionaires in the UK?
Sorry, say again?
Are you happy to see billionaires in the UK?
I want to have a more equal society. Billionaires exist, but I would like a much more
Should they
equal
exist?
society. Well, I'd like a more equal society if we could. And
Well, obviously he wouldn't give a straight answer. Why? Because there's a general election going on and he has to be nice and cuddly. But this is the true version of John McDonnell and his views.
I'm a Marxist. You know, this is a classic crisis of the economy, classic capitalist crisis. I've been waiting for this for a generation.
Parliamentary democracy doesn't work for us. Elections aren't working for us. So when it comes to coordinated industrial action, we need coordinated street action as well. And that means, as we did a few weeks ago, if we have to, close off Parliament Square with thousands of people turning up, close off Westminster Bridge, get out into the streets in form of direct action.
I want to be in a situation where no Tory MP, no Tory MP, no coalition minister can travel anywhere in the country or show their face anywhere in public without being challenged by direct action. My view is they're social criminals. And eventually, I warned them, we will try you for what you've done. We will try you for what you've done to our community.
And that gives us, again, another opportunity in the same way the financial crisis does. You see, I don't want to just bring down the government anymore. I want to destroy the system.
I sat opposite that today, and I tell you, sometimes you feel like physical force. You feel like giving them a good...
Yes, this is the person we're dealing with. So if anyone thinks that Labour could lose and Jeremy Corbyn could go and Labour could become a moderate party again, no, don't hold your breath. It's not going to be as easy as we think, because there are different factions already plotting to replace him, Corbyn, with a more radical version of Corbyn. So that's going to be interesting to know, find out. But we're going to keep you guys posted on this channel. So make sure that you, as always, subscribe and click on the bell next to it so you get notified when I release a new video. We're getting close to 90,000 subscribers, so make sure you get your friends to share this video and subscribe. And if you want to stay up to date with the election news, Brexit news, make sure you follow me on Twitter and Instagram. You can find the details down here. And we have the merchandise page if you want to check them out. We have various Brexit t-shirts. We have the new version, All I Want for Christmas is Brexit, but also we have the Get Brexit Done, Make Britain Independent Again. You could find all those t-shirt designs, the link is in the description as always. And in the next video later on, that's going to be posted straight after this, we're going to talk about the Conservative Party's manifesto. We're going to talk about the details and we're going to compare it to the Labour manifesto to see what we're actually dealing with in this election. So make sure that you stay tuned. And I'm Tousi, and I'll see you guys in the next video.